Hello. So I decided to do something a little bit different. I'm going to try this out for a couple videos. I'm going to, after I film my spoiler-free short and my spoiler-free full review, I'm going to film my spoiler review just while I'm buzzing, just because I want to talk about details, and I went to the movie alone. So I saw the end of Oak Street tonight. It's officially out tomorrow, August 14th. And so I did do a spoiler-free short and spoiler-free full video, which I will put in the description below, so please go check that out, because this video is going to have spoilers. It's not going to be in any particular order. There's not going to be clips, images, any of that stuff. It's just going to be me talking and rambling and things like that, of just all the things I like, the things that frustrated me, observations that I made, just all the thoughts. And again, it's not in any particular order. I have ADHD, so I'm going to be bouncing all over the place. I had a previous coworker mention that my videos make him feel like he's sitting in the car talking to a friend post movie, because you bounce all over the place when you're talking to somebody after you see a movie. And those are my videos. So again, this video is going to have spoilers. And I don't know exactly how I'll be posting it, because I was late. I was probably like 5 minutes after the actual film had started. So I really want to go and watch the film again, and then maybe I'll like put this on the end of this video. I'm not too sure, but I want to film my thought review with spoilers now while I'm still buzzing. So yes, I'm Shay, and let's get into the spoiler review. And yeah, so honestly, I'm still buzzing about this movie. Man, the dinosaurs were just absolutely nuts. You know, I was trying to place them, like trying to figure out exactly what, I know I said this in my spoiler-free short or video, but it's like, what time period are these dinosaurs from? Because it's like you saw, you know, the ancient crocodiles. I believe they were crocodiles, and then you see the like big leech-like creature, like legless salamander, where you only see its head really. And it isn't until later on in the movie that you see it's got a really long body. So it's like, and then I wasn't too sure if the multiple creatures were like velociraptors. I wasn't too sure about that. Where they're like in packs, like maybe they are velociraptors. I don't know. And then it seemed like you have the T-Rex, but maybe it isn't the T-Rex, but the like legless salamander that you see in the pool earlier on in the movie, it's like you don't realize until they're in the house later on in the movie and they're just gathering supplies, that it's a giant snake. A giant snake, but it's got the face of like a salamander. It's got a very flat mouth. So I don't know if that one is related, like what, you know, modern day creature it's related to. I'm not too sure. You know, and it's really interesting how they did the like time warp, you know, that thing where it's like they had the little mini circular portals, but then it's like they had this massive cosmic event portal that covered the neighborhood, which you see at the end of the movie. And it's curious that like when they come back, it's like they arrived back like with like 15 minutes to spare, essentially. And then I know that they were theorizing about like, okay, so when this happened, would whatever was here be back? And, it proved that. But it's just, it's interesting how they did the time thing, like, why was it that they came back before the actual, like, full cosmic event? But maybe that's when things started getting triggered, because it's like you had some flashes. So I'm not too sure. It gives me like so much with time travel. Like, you have Back to the Future, and where it's like we're trying to right the wrongs of our past. But it's like they were brought to the past, so it's like we're righting the wrongs of the future, but like our past, I don't know, it plays with your mind. And then it's like, well, you have the wife, the 2 kids, and then the friend. And so she calls and orders pizza, and her husband, Mr. Platt, comes. And so it's like, did the wife and kids get transported? Maybe they did, and then they died. But then it really, I'm thinking about it, and it's so much like okay, so their present selves all get transported, switch places to the past, and then Mr. Platt dies, which he died in the craziest way. Like, I thought his leg, his knee would just get like it. I was shocked when his calf was gone, and I was expecting, I don't know, I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't expect him to be fully eaten like immediately after. So it's like, okay, so you have Mrs. Platt, where, okay, so the whole family goes initially, and then Mr. Platt dies, and then so the friend and the 2 kids and Mrs. Platt, they jump into the portal, and then they make it back in advance. And then one of the kids is like, does that mean that we're down there? And it's like, are they down there? Like, I don't know. Are they down there? Maybe. And then but then it's like, okay, so if they are down there, then you have past, technically present, the mom and the 2 kids, technically, and then you have present themselves that get transported back, but Mr. Platt stays because she ordered pizza. So I'm curious about how they, like, it's a whole time travel thing where it's like, all right, well, because they died in the past, like, when they disappear after their past selves die, or was it just the Mrs. Platt and the 2 kids, and the other ones are just, they never actually got transported to the past? I don't know. I don't know. Please put in the comments what your thoughts are, because it's messing with my mind. I'm like, I don't know how that would affect. I feel like someone needs to draw this out on like a whiteboard or something, to like with string or something, or like I don't know. My brain. I completely segued there, because I'm trying to wrap my brain around the time aspect. And then it's like, so she went to the payphone and she called collect, which it's like she didn't need to put any change in, which is great. I'm sure that that's going to confuse a lot of the younger generation, not understanding about how payphones worked and calling collect and things like that. So, but then you see at the end of the movie where it's like survivor, 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 where it's like she called them all and like warned them in those, I don't know, those 15 minutes. And I guess she ordered the pizza, and then Mr. Platt, he survives. And, you know, I mean, it's really lucky that the dinosaurs switch places. Like, there were dinosaurs that, like, the plot that of where the suburban neighborhood was, you know, the dinosaurs replaced that plot. So it's really fortunate, because I don't know how many people would have believed her. I mean, she did have the Polaroid photo. I couldn't believe that they had the two dinosaurs having sex. I mean, we don't know, but I thought it was like how, oh, well, maybe, because I was going to say, I thought it was very much like how birds, and then I'm thinking like, well, like fish, but it's like, but birds mate that way. And so it's like, we normally see the egg aspect, but we don't usually see the during aspect. So I thought that was really, really interesting. But I gotta say, so like Starbuck, it sounded like Starbucks, the dog. I'm glad he survived. Like, and he came and saved the day. I thought he was going to be killed. I really thought he was, but he survived, which I'm really happy about. And, but like, when the sun went out, when he heard the dog, it's like, and then he's calling and screaming the dog's name. It's like, what are you doing? Why? But then, like, why are you screaming the name? Because the other dinosaurs are going to hear you. But then I was thinking, you know, this is because the time where the neighborhood setting is in, what is it, like the 70s or 80s? So it's like there's only dinosaur stuff in the books. And that doesn't say anything about the hunting and their listening abilities, any of that stuff. So it's like, you know, even with the flashlights, you know, and so, you know, what got me is that they're yelling for the kids, yelling for the dog. But then when Mrs. Platt suggests to honk the horn, he's like, oh, you want to alert everyone? And it's like, you've literally been shouting for these dinosaurs, for these kids. What are you doing? I don't know. I get they're not really thinking. They're only thinking so far. And because I was late for the movie, I didn't get to hear. When I walked in was where she is talking to the lady who I guess was, I don't know, she reviewed books, maybe her husband's. She was an editor or something like that. And she's talking about, oh, I really liked your book, and, you know, I really like this aspect about this woman, and she makes a couple comments. And then Mr. Platt is saying, like, I know you wanted to leave, like, you're just any excuse to leave. And she's like, oh, it's just a story. And so I'm really curious to know what I missed. I mean, I was only a couple minutes late, but I feel like I missed something significant, where like more of the details about this book. But I felt bad for her when she lost her her writing, because it's like she locked herself in the basement, maybe emotionally locked herself in the basement, and she's typing on the typewriter, and she's completely locked in. And, you know, I was watching that, and one of the first thoughts that I had was like, you can type out, like, you're listening to words and you're able to write everything out. Like, I need like instrumental. I can't have like additional words playing while I'm trying to write stuff out, because it's like, you know, I might end up writing what I'm hearing, or I might not be able to get all my thoughts out. So that was the first thought that I had. And so I felt really bad for her when the basement was flooded. And then, you know, you have Mr. Platt when he died, and seeing Mrs. Platt just completely in shock. It's just like, I cried. And then, like, when she, you know, she's looking at the wedding photo, and then she pulls out the photo, the Polaroid. It's like, I was crying when I saw that, and, you know, it's an emotional movie. This movie really took you on an emotional ride. And, you know, I wasn't expecting the librarian you see her at the end. I was really happy that she helped out, but it's like, she just died. But she survived, in a sense, like her past future self survived. The whole time travel, switching of places, some people dying, some people surviving. It's just like, it's just messing with my mind. But this movie was crazy. I mean, I was expecting like the neighbor, I forget his name, but when he was shooting at the I could be wrong about this being the dinosaur, but I feel like Alamus, Quetzalcoatlus. Yeah, the flying one. I didn't expect them to have such sharp teeth. Like, you don't see that, because, I mean, he's attacked at night. But I didn't expect, like, I expected him to die so much sooner when he was shooting at them. Like, why did you go out onto your roof, sir? Like, why did you go out on your roof? And, you know, did this, like, cosmic event, like, did it happen for more of a purpose than, like, it's presented? Because when Mr. and Mrs. Platt discover, like, the orb that they could jump into, and they were checking it out, and he's like, go, and she's like, no, and he's like, go, and she says, no, like, I'm not gonna go without you. And it just disappears. And so with it disappearing, it's like, I don't know, like, it's like it was waiting, like, this cosmic event, in a weird way. Like, I'm just thinking out loud, like, did this cosmic event happen? Was it triggered by, you know, the turmoil in this family? And, like, maybe they were the ones that were meant to survive, because she writes a book in the end about the end of Oak Street. And I don't know, like, it seems like they were all meant to, you know, work together to actually survive. And, you know, each person ended up making peace with whatever conflict that they had. Like, you know, you have the son who had his bully that he essentially made peace with, and then I'm not too sure, but the daughter, what what her situation is. I feel like I missed that. And then you have the Mr. Platt, who seems like he was an alcoholic, and you know, when she smells alcohol in his breath, he lies to her. So it's like, did he get fired for drinking? I know he said he was laid off, and you know, when he tells his son, well, put it in the garage, like, your mom doesn't like it. It's like he was actually just hiding that aspect from her. Back to the garage. When the daughter goes into the garage, she puts the cassette tape in and she's listening to music. I was half expecting a dinosaur to just like bust through the garage, but then it's like it like bounced out, and it's like you don't hear that much. One thing I did forget to mention in my spoiler-free video is the way that they did the filming. Like, there's a scene when, you know, they're sitting in the living room, and it's when it's like, this is the last bit of milk, and the way that they put the camera on you have the mom, so on the mom's face, and then you have one of the kids in the background, and then it's like onto the son's face, and then you have someone else in the back. Just, I thought that was really interesting. That was really, really cool. But yeah, this movie was, it took the fear of Jurassic Park and brought it up, because it's just like, it's so true about, you know, suburban neighborhoods. Like, it's supposed to be this very safe area, and then, you know, you have these predators. Not all predators, but you have these predators that would be, at least in the neighborhood, they are the apex, you know, top of the food chain predators in, like, at least for the neighborhood that got moved. And it's like, you know, they're putting up boards over like the doors and things like that, and it's like, but they're not looking at the curtains. I mean, they did eventually. And then, like, for it to happen, like, let's just say it were to happen in present day, it's like, so they lost power, but it's like all they had were the radio, you know, for like service wise. Like, I don't know how much pandemonium would happen if this were to happen in present day. Like, if a neighborhood were to just get moved and switch places with this prehistoric period of, what is it, the librarian said something like 200 and something million years ago, based on the one plant. And then, you know, just kind of thinking about it, they were talking about how they saw like little things. They were like mini events. Like, you had the poop, and then I guess there was a plant that just grew, the one that the older lady was talking about. How, I guess, maybe she saw it a couple days before, and then because she's like, oh, this grew in a couple days, and that plant is from so long ago, and it's like, well, how many of these blips actually happened? I don't know. I mean, we don't really know what happens to a lot of the families. I mean, I would guess that everyone that, before the Mrs. Platt and the kids, before they got back, it seemed like we had a group of people that were running from a T-Rex like dinosaur, and it seemed like pretty much everyone else was dead. It seemed like everybody else was. If there were survivors, they would have been locked up in their house. And it's like, I just, crazy. I don't know if there's more that I can say right now. I do plan on seeing the movie again, so maybe I'll do like a part two spoiler review where I talk more in detail. But I think that's everything that I can think of. Just kind of thoughts. Um, when when Mr. Platt takes the sledgehammer to the dinosaur's knee, I was very, very satisfied with that. Same with the snake. She's stabbing him, and then the snake, he's seen the snake's body, and like the knife go out with the snake as in the end. It was a great movie. I definitely want to see it again, and then I'm sure there's gonna be more that I think about and more connections that I made. But yes, so please let me know in the comments if you've figured out the timeline, because that's getting me thinking. I'm trying to, I don't know, I think my brain is getting tired because it's like it's trying to figure it out, and it's just, I'm hitting a wall. But yeah, let me know if there are things that you really liked. This is a spoiler review, so um people will know that there will be spoilers in the comments. You can also title your comment saying spoilers, and then have a couple spaces underneath, and then you can put your spoiler comment if you want. Let me know if there were things that I missed, connections. Let me know if you've made progress with how the timeline works and all of that. And let me know if you liked my spoiler review. Anything you would like. Thank you so much for listening, watching, playing, just being here with me when I post my reviews. At least watching them after I post, because my brain's tired because I'm filming these in the car alone. So thank you for accompanying me in the future. Speaking of timeline. And until the next one, thanks so much. Bye.